something. Hey everyone, and welcome to our network. This is what I call the Magical Miracle Network. We could have a name change in the future. I don't really know what's going to happen, but for right now, this is our network. And it's a network of oneness, it's a network of unity, and it's a network of resources. And I use that as an acronym now for our. And so today I have a very, very special guest with us today. We've had him here before. His name is Dan O'Neill. And Dan and I are just going to have a lot of fun today for about 15 or 20 minutes with everyone watching. And so, Dan, thank you again for coming on.
That's my pleasure. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah. And we just had a lot of fun before we hit the record button. And so we're going to continue that fun today with Dan's teaching. He's been teaching this and in this for about 35 or 40 years, I guess. Is that right? Am I getting the number right?
A little shorter. Let's see. What year is this? 24? 35. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for Spirit giving me that good number. So 35 years of doing A Course in Miracles. And I'm so deeply grateful that you have been doing the Monday night course group for a long time as well. And people can find you here in the Richmond area and lean into the teaching with you and Scott McLean every Monday night at 7:30 at Unity of Bon Air. Yep. And Dan is also an amazing singer, and he does work at Unity of Richmond once a month or twice a month.
Once a month.
Once a month. Okay. Sundays at 4, which is the music that you guys bring, you and Valerie Kay bring to the community, which is, I think, is lovely.
Well, we do that. Yeah, we do that once every season.
I'm sorry. Once every season.
Nancy and I do our gathering on the third Sunday of each month, except for this month, since St. Patrick's Day is next week.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's lovely. So, and St. Patrick's Day it's on the horizon. I can barely believe it's March. As of this recording, it's March the 12th, 2024. I just can't believe it. I really can't. It's supposed to be like 73 degrees today here in Richmond. So, but anyway, what we're going to do today, guys, is talk a little bit about any part of your backstory you might want to talk about with A Course in Miracles. Before we hit the record button, we're talking a little bit about even sort of mystical experiences that you might have encountered during your teaching, if you want to share something like that. So I'll just kind of pass it over to you and see what you might want to share here in the beginning.
Okay. Well, I guess as far as mystical experiences in my life, I mean, I mostly just feel things. I also do energy work, and I'm a massage therapist as well. So I feel energy, but as far as mystical experiences are concerned, I just feel an upliftment, a bliss, and sometimes in meditation. The first mystical experience I can remember, I was actually a year and a half old. And I was in my crib, and I was, getting ready to go to sleep. And I don't know, the only thing I can call it is molecules of air. So I kissed all my stuffed animals good night, and then I started kissing molecules of air good night, which was kind of so I felt I mean that was like, I mean, I still remember that. That was really crazy. It was like I was just in this love, this bliss of love of everything, and I felt the feeling of that was just amazing.
Wow. Molecules of love. I love that. It was like, they look like little bubbles.
Yeah. That's the only way I can describe it. And I was just in such a loving space that I was just kissing everything.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything, I didn't know any different. I didn't have any, there was nothing, no education or anything, no way for me to know what anything was at that time, except just what it was.
Wow.
So
And it's cool that you still have that memory, you know, of that time. And
Yeah.
that's super cool. But you feel energy. So when you feel the energy, can you describe a little bit? It sounds to me like you're clairsentient, which means you're just really tuned into energy and you can feel that in your field. Can you describe like a little bit about what that might feel like when you're in meditation or even doing your work?
So if I'm working on someone, I mean, it's palpable. I feel a pressure, energy, a ball of energy. I can feel that where the edges of that ball are. I think a lot of people who study energy work develop that sensitivity. You sort of have to if you're doing energy work, or else you're making it all up. Um,
Yeah.
so you can train yourself to feel that. Uh, there could be a heat, could be a vibration, it could be uh, a pressure. Any one of those.
Yeah. And it
Um,
sounds to me like you can calibrate when you do your energy work, you can sort of calibrate that feeling that you're having in your body to the person you're working with.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when you do that, can you offer, is it like you're feeling what they're feeling, or you're just getting information that might be helpful? I mean, how does that work? I guess is what I'm asking.
It's more like I get information because it's my belief and training or any study that I've done is that you shouldn't take on somebody else's issues.
Mhm.
I'm just a channel for their healing, for their self healing. That's all I am.
Right.
So if I'm say if I'm doing Reiki, I'm just generating energy, or I'm just allowing the energy to flow through me rather, uh, and to help them in whatever way it needs to be helped. If I'm doing healing touch, there's more technique involved. There's techniques, and so because you have that technique in mind and you have that intention with that technique in mind, then that's how the energy is moved. Um, so you can take energy out as well as put energy in. So if there's pain, you can relieve pain. Uh, but you never take it on yourself. It just flows.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Um,
that's great. That's a lovely way to be tuned in. And as a musician, I guess that's kind of been your gig. You are tuned in, right? You know, that's been
well, if I'm not, it sounds terrible.
right, exactly. Oh my
Well,
gosh. Well,
this
that's so
is-
lovely. I love that mystical experience that you had at 1.5.
yeah,
And I love it that you use your gift of clairsentience or to really feel into when you're doing the Reiki. That's really cool. Um, well, what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of different lessons that you've chosen for our viewers. We have 154 viewers now. So thank you guys for subscribing to this channel. We really appreciate it. And Dan has selected two different lessons, and we're going to kind of just touch on those, and then we'll um, do the next part. So,
okay.
yeah, go ahead.
So lesson 68, love holds no grievances, and lesson 69, my grievances hide the light of the world in me. I chose these today because I think it's just really important that we don't hold on to any grievances, especially in this time of division that we're feeling politically and just in life generally. It seems like we're really polarized at this time. And when we hold on to grievances, we really just hurt ourselves. Um, so I'll read this first paragraph from Love Holds No Grievances. You who were created by love like itself can hold no grievances and know yourself. That's capital S self, your higher self. To hold a grievance is to forget who you are. To hold a grievance is to see yourself as a body. To hold a grievance is to let the ego rule your mind and to condemn the body to death. Perhaps you do not yet fully realize just what holding grievances does to your mind. It seems to split you off from your source and make you unlike him. it makes you believe that he is like what you think you have become, for no one can conceive of his creator as unlike himself. So that's a powerful statement right there. The what I was talking to Ruth about earlier was that there was a song that was made about these two lessons, and they just used the words of the lessons in the entire lyrics of the song. And there are some italicized sections in both of these lessons. So the first line is, "Love holds no grievances. I would wake to myself by laying all my grievances aside and awakening in him." And the other part is, "My grievances hide the light of the world in me. I cannot see what I have hidden, yet I want to let it be revealed to me for my salvation and the salvation of the world." And it's a really beautiful song that Charlie Thweet, Oman, and Shanti, if any of you are familiar with those musicians, created this beautiful melody to sing these words to. And it's a chant that I like to do myself.
Oh. Can you, can I put you on the spot?
To get the right key, I usually have to play it on my guitar to get in the right place. But love holds no grievances. I would wake to myself by laying all my grievances aside and awakening in him. My grievances hide the light of the world in me. I cannot see what I have hidden, yet I want to let it be revealed to me for my salvation and the salvation of the world. And then it repeats, "Love holds no grievances."
Oh my gosh, Dan, thank you. That's really beautiful. Gonna replay that. That you did great. You were all on key. All sound beautiful. So.
Yeah, I was concerned that I might get off and go into another key.
Oh, that's really beautiful, because holding grievances really does hide the light of the world. And what he's teaching us is that we are the light. We are light workers, in this place. And when we have a blocking thought or a grievance that we've held on to, that really does contaminate our present moment and our mind. And so maybe it might be a good thought here to sort of unpack a little bit or describe or explain what a grievance looks like, because they're all the same. There's no hierarchy of illusions, no order of difficulty in miracles, right? And so what he's trying to explain in the course is that every grievance is really the very same thing, and so can you maybe bring up an example of a grievance? It doesn't have to be your own grievance, but just a general grievance, even like with politics, when we hold a grievance against a certain politician, for example, what that does to you personally as a human being.
Well, it makes you sick. It's because while you're holding a grievance, if you have anything against someone else, you are shutting down systems of your body, so your body's not working properly. You need to be at peace in order for it to be healthy. Really, to be really healthy, you need to be at peace. Otherwise, you're just stressing all your systems. All disease comes from stress, and stress is a direct effect of being angry, holding a grievance against somebody. And the grievance can be anything. It can be you had an expectation of somebody and they didn't fulfill it, and you just hang on to that because they didn't do what you wanted them to do. So that gets into a lot of things about forgiveness and specialness, what the course calls specialness, special relationships, which that's like too long a subject to get into. But the whole idea is that we need to forgive all the time. That's the tool that we've been given in this in this world, in this experience that we share, that's the tool that we have to come to peace. And
Right.
the goal of the course is to have the peace of God no matter what's going on around you.
Right.
So being at peace keeps us healthy.
Yeah.
When we're angry and tight and stressful and separated, we make ourselves sick.
Yeah. Thank you. I like what you said there. Holding the grievance really does block the light. And so we don't have to feel guilty about having a grievance or feel upset about that. What we need to do is just correct it. I think that's the bottom line. What we're doing and it's coming from our thinking mind is to just be aware. Hey, I've been thinking with the wrong teacher, the teacher of pain, separation, guilt, judgment, and been sending that thought. What appears to be that I'm sending that thought out to that politician, but really what you're doing is you're sending that thought to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ultimate the ultimate forgiveness is forgiveness of yourself for thinking there was something you needed to forgive.
Yes.
That is the highest form of forgiveness.
Exactly. And I love it what he says later in the course workbook about, forgiveness basically is saying that what you thought your brother or sister has done to you has not happened, has not occurred. It's a very radical form of forgiveness. But that's ultimately the truth, is that all of us, these little tangles in our mind, with choosing the ego as our teacher, it's not real, and it's actually a false thought. And if it's not real, then it's not happening. It's just like, that's kind of fun. And it really helped me when I was doing, especially the first couple of years, so thank you. So love holds no grievances, and my grievances hide the light of the world in me. And that's lesson number 68 and 69. Any other thoughts that pop in about those two lessons?
I think when you read through the whole lesson, it's a really good understanding of what grievances are and how they do hurt you. And let's see. There are also some exercises in here, like holding somebody that you have a grievance with, say in your mind, I would see you as my friend, that I may remember you are part of me and come to know myself. There's no separation between us. So if we're holding a grievance against somebody else, we're actually holding it against ourselves as well. We're harming ourselves. When I let all my grievances go, I will know that I am perfectly safe. It's another one of the italicized sections of that first lesson. And these are practice periods that you can hold these thoughts. The lessons are very good at changing your mind about the way we think of things in the world and the way the divine thinks of them. And so I would encourage people to do the lessons if they would like to change their mind and have more peace.
Absolutely. And I'll just calibrate this with you a little bit, because when you consistently practice and have the willingness of doing the workbook and do the course, what happens as a result or a reflection of applying the principles of the workbook and reading through the text and doing kind of the whole kit and caboodle is that you feel better and better and better. Has that been your experience?
Absolutely. Yeah. You start to think differently, and so then you don't get hung up on all the things that pick at us throughout the day. You let things go easier, and you just start to think about things differently. I mean, the first few lessons are I don't know what anything in this room means. Everything in this room, it has the meaning that I give it. So things are neutral. in their energy. Money, sex, anything is neutral in its energy. It only has the meaning that I give it. So if I make money or sex more important than it should be in my life, then I'm doing that myself, and I can change that.
Mhm. Yeah, it kind of brings us to the idea of substitutions for source, right? Money,
Yes.
sex, coffee, alcohol, whatever it might be. Those are all substitutions for source. And we have special relationships with them, right?
Yeah, I have special relationships with my instruments.
Yes, exactly.
There was
Oh, that's so funny.
there was a Christmas card that how everybody, a lot of people send out family pictures of their family. I had my daughter sitting on my lap, my Les Paul on one side, my Martin 12 string on the other side. And that was my family.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, I think that's super fun.
Yeah.
I love that. Um, Dan, so while we're kind of getting into this place where we're we're trying to keep these videos short because I'll be honest, people just don't have the attention for longer videos.
Not
I
these
know I
days
don't. I
anymore.
know I don't. Because we get so many people sharing videos, but people who are new to the course, even middle of the road kind of people kind of pop in and out. I know you teach, I teach, and we have people come in and out all the time. People are like long timers in it. Is there any words of wisdom that you might want to share here at the end of the interview that might be helpful for anyone who's doing the course? Me too. I'm always looking for good guidance.
Um, well, always, it's the same message. It's just said in multiple ways throughout the book and the whole course. And it's love God, love your brother as yourself, because your brother is yourself, and forgive. They asked Jesus, how many times should I forgive? He said 70 times 7, meaning all the time. So forgive the world, forgive yourself. If you do those things, you're practicing the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thank you. I think that's well said. There's no other way to say that. Love God, love your neighbor, and love them regardless. Love them. If you see somebody as an enemy, class is in session, and especially the politician. And I
Yeah.
think that's a great message to send out today to people because of the bifurcation, the polarization, is to really let people know that when you are really mad at that politician or upset with him or her, whoever it might be, you're just talking about you.
Yeah.
You're using the ego as your teacher. And that's okay because we're onto it. It's like, oh my gosh, my ego just got ramped up. And now I'm going to choose another way, which is choose the Holy Spirit's tranquil interpretation of all of this, which is it's not real. That ego thought is not a real thought. So I love you, Dan. Thank you so much for coming on our network, the oneness, the unity, and the resource network for Course in Miracles and all the other things that so many spiritual teachers are involved in, I feel, around the world, which is, energy healing, sound healing. I know you do a lot with sound healing. We'll put all of that in the description box today. You do a lot for the course community, have for so many years. So we're very grateful. And we're coming up next year to 50 years of A Course in Miracles in the world. So it's going to be a fun time to celebrate, whether you think it's 1975 or 1976. There's that timeline there. And we're getting into almost 50 years. And it truly has changed my life. And I know it's changed yours.
Yeah. It has.
All right. Well, while I find this stop button, I'll give you the last words or the last prayerful words.
Oh.
It's all on you.
Okay. Well, you find the stop button. All right. Well, just go within, go to your heart space and open your heart to everyone and everything. And just breathe the love that you are into your entire being and radiate that love without condition, without expectation, without judgment. Just be in this moment now with your brother, your sister, your source, yourself.
Amen. Thank you, Dan.